Hey, good night, everyone. I'm going to wait for everybody to come on. I am so excited to be on with you guys. Please forgive some of the noise in the background. This is the best space that I had that I usually do my lives, but I'm really excited to be on with you guys. I'm going to wait for some of you guys to start coming in. Hopefully I can see some of you guys' comments. So just let me know when you're on. Just say hey so that I can make sure that I can see everyone's comments in the group. Just say something. Just give me a hey or a hi or something so that I can make sure that I can see everybody's comment. There we go. I just wanted to make sure. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Farshia. I think it's pronounced Delana. I hope I said that right. Hey, Mary. So I just want to make sure, just wanted to make sure that I can hear, that you guys can hear me and I can see your response. So thank you guys for everybody coming in. Hey, Jennifer. Yes, Lorna, thank you so much. I want to thank you for considering me and having me on to speak to the group. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot. Growing in this industry, there's a lot of other heavy hitters. And so I do appreciate whenever someone, calls on me to speak and to drop some knowledge, to their people, their group. So I appreciate that. Hey, everybody. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Ann. I think it's Christian. I hope I pronounced that right. So while everybody else is still coming in, here's a little something about myself, because I'm sure some of you guys know me. A lot of you guys may not know me. But of course, my name is Debora. I'm the owner of TaylorMade Planning and Premier Planners Experience. I have been in the event industry since 2010. I got certified in 2010. Most people know my story. I kind of fell into the event planning industry. It wasn't something I was looking for. I kind of fell into it, or God kind of pushed me or stirred me into another direction. And so here I am when it comes to event planning. So I started off with my event plan, just doing the events, decorating and doing weddings. And so I love that. I enjoy it. But then I also found that I have this strong passion. It just kind of came about, I guess, for teaching. And so I do have my degree in teaching. I have my certification in mentoring, in business. Just a whole long list of stuff that I don't want to bore all of you guys with. But I have a lot of certifications and degrees in that aspect of teaching and marketing. And I wanted to know more about the business because I was stuck. All right. So I was stuck, y'all. And so that's what pushed me and motivated me. Hey. I see everybody coming in. I'm sorry. Don't think I'm not acknowledging you guys. I was just trying to dive in and do my introduction. But thank you guys for all coming in. I really appreciate you so much. But that's how I kind of got into the whole teaching, because I was struggling so bad in my business. Kicking off, one minute it was like I was moving, and then next thing you know, I wasn't moving, and it wasn't a good look at one point. So all of that I ended up just kind of, with the wisdom of God, helping me to know how to market my business, how to find my clients. I'm not sure if some of you guys have experienced this, but it was just hard kind of giving money that I know that I didn't really have, to kind of just constantly giving it to different areas, and they weren't helping. So I needed a marketing strategy. I needed to know how to move my business without feeling like I was kicking out thousands and thousands of dollars and investing in what I considered a hole and nothing to receive back. And so that's when God started giving me different tips and tools and allowing me to learn the back end of the business. And so most people know me as always talking about the back end of the business. So we know how to handle the front end. We know how to decorate. And a lot of people heard me say this, and I'm just repeating it for a lot of you guys that have never heard me speak before. But we focus so much on the front end of the business, the designs, the decor, the chairs, the tables, the setting, the themes, but we forget to handle the back end of our business. And so the back end of our business, it suffers, and it doesn't allow us to be as successful because we put too much emphasis on just the front end. So it's good that you know how to decorate. It's good that you know how to do all of that. But then you need to know how do I manage the business aspect of it? And I think some of us get lost in that because we don't know how to handle certain parts of the business. And so because we don't know how to do that, some people, and something that kind of is a little pet peeve to me, people have this thing where, they feel that they don't need to focus on the back end. And I don't know where they got that from, but I know that that's not to be true. You got to be well-rounded when it comes to your business. I'm going to give you guys some tips that I know that I've learned. Now, some of these tips may not be what you want to hear, because a lot of us like that get money quick. How do I, earn a dollar quick? How do I book really quick? We don't want to put things, pretty much do steps. We don't want to take those baby steps into bigger steps. So I'm not the girl that's going to teach you how to become, wealthy overnight. That's just not me. I'm not going to teach you how to get $1 million overnight. That's not me, because you could get the $1 million overnight and you can still mess up in your business. I'm the girl that's going to tell you, how to take certain steps, to build your business. Alrighty, I'm the girl that's going to tell you, listen, if you want a successful business 5 years from now, these are the initial steps that you need to take. I'm not the person that's going to say, hey, there's some people that win the lottery and then 2 years later they're broke. Like that can't be our portion. My goal is to teach you how to build a successful business that then can be passed on as a legacy to your family. And so in business, I'm not the person that's going to just take your money and just say, hey, I dropped some nuggets and I'm going to keep on running. That's just not me. So I believe in legacy. I believe in growing businesses. I believe in the success of a business, whether you're decorating, making cakes, treats, whatever you're doing. I feel like you need to have a strong foundation when it comes to business, when it comes to building that business. And the number one thing that, there's a few tips that I'm going to give you guys tonight. Some of you guys may know some of these tips, but if you see me looking down, I just want to make sure that I stay on course, because I know me, people that know me know I could kind of, keep talking, and I want to be respectful for the time that was given to me. So the first thing that I'd like to tell people, when you are starting a business, number one, you got to be willing to invest in yourself. You got to be willing to invest in what you believe that God, I'm a Jesus girl, so I'm going to say God and Jesus a lot. You got to believe in the vision that God has given you. And especially now at this time where this whole virus thing is going on, people are like panicking. People are like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my business? Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Will this ever get better? And so I'm just going to pause in the midst of saying, trusting your vision that God has given you. I'm going to pause for a moment and just let you guys know, listen, it doesn't matter if we have a coronavirus going on. Every industry takes a hit some way or the other. This is not exempt from another type of hit that someone else has taken. Is this I'm very sensitive towards the fact of the virus. I don't like to see people sick. I don't like to see people, I don't like any of that. But you should not be panicking. Take advantage of the time. Even though your event is canceled, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Like the event industry, trust me, it's not going to go in a hole. Because once this all passes over, everybody is going to want to celebrate. There's always going to be weddings. There's always going to be parties. So everybody has to stop panicking. You still got to trust the vision. No one should be questioning whether or not they believe they were called to the industry or not. If God gave you the vision and he gave you purpose for it, then you shouldn't be dismayed. You shouldn't be worried about it. Trust the vision. And once you trust the vision, this is the best time for you to look over your business stuff, revamp your business. If you're just getting started, how can I invest in my business so that this way when I put it out to potential clients, I look like what I say I do? What do I mean by that? Some of us won't even invest in a decent logo. You got to have a decent logo, honey. It's your business. Your business needs a logo. Don't try to do the logo yourself because you're trying to cut corners and save money. I get that. There's other things you can save money on. But when you talking about letting my logo represent who I am in business, I need to invest. So if that means my logo is going to cost me $100, I need to invest that $100. And I know somebody's going to probably say, oh, but Deb, I'm not working right now. The thing with the virus, I don't just got money to throw around. Then you're the person that I would say, maybe then you want to just take a pause, not give up on it, but maybe you might want to just take a pause, revamp a few things if you feel like you can't afford it. But for those that are saying, you know what, let me just invest. I know I don't really got all of it, but my logo represents my brand. It represents who I am in business. You have to invest in that. You got to invest in someone that's going to not only create your logo, but you need everything to look the same. You cannot have a logo in red, black, and white, and then we see your business card and it has green, blue, and purple. Like, it just don't go together. And I've seen that. I've seen it. You want to make sure, because remember, you are representing yourself to potential clients. And when a client looks at you, they're going to look at the full package. They just don't stop at the logo. They're going to check your page out. You want to make sure that things about you all add up. So besides investing in your logo, you definitely want to invest in a business card. I mean, who don't want to be in business and not have a business card? You need to have a business card. Business cards are not expensive anymore. People used to be like, oh my God, I can't afford it. Now, I got business cards for $30. You can go on multiple sites. As long as you have your designer create your business card, you can print your business cards from anywhere. You name it, Staples. They got so many other sites that you can do business cards. So you want to make sure that you have that. You need to make sure also that you have an online presence. Like a lot of people don't like that word when I tell them you got to be present online. They're like, oh, Deb, you know what? I don't like being online. Well, honey, then you don't like being in business. Because let me tell you, this is the new age where people like online. That's just the way that it's transitioning. Now, if you want to be the person to stand outside, like back in the day, handing out your business cards, handing stuff out, if that's you, then more power to you. But if you are moving with the new age, the internet is the way to go. You want to be on social media. If you're not on Facebook, then you need to be on Instagram. If those ain't your cup of tea, you need to find out which one of them is your cup of tea. Maybe it's Twitter. Maybe it's Snapchat. Whichever one you feel works for you, you need to be on some form of social media. That's the only way sometimes your business is going to be able to connect with multiple people. When you are on Instagram, like Instagram, Facebook, any one of the social media platforms, you need to make sure that your page represents who you are. And a lot of people laugh when I make this joke, but I say it all the time because I'm really serious about it. But when I come to your page, when a potential client comes to your page needs to represent what you say you do. If you have multiple businesses, then you may have to separate those pages or find a way to blend those pages on that one page. Nobody wants to come. If you are a cake decorator, I definitely don't want to come and see you posting about your skirts, posting about your hair. I don't want to see your nails because that's not what I'm interested in. You said you do cakes. So I came to your page because I want to see what cakes you do. And so we cannot have the excuse where, oh, but what do? I don't have no pictures of cakes and stuff like that. Well, even if you don't have pictures of cakes, you certainly don't want to put pictures of your hair, your nails, your family, your dog, your cat, your vacation. Like, that doesn't represent what you're doing. You want to make sure that you represent yourself well when you are on social media in front of your audience, because all of that is your potential audience. You want to make sure that if you say you do decorating, you say you do weddings, you say you do cakes, when I come to your page, when they come to your page, that is what we need to see. We need to see what you say you do. Alrighty, and so I don't know if anybody have questions. You can drop your questions. I'm gonna pop questions and take some questions, from you guys as well. But besides that, with your social media presence, the number one, let's go to the top. What everybody should have is called a contract. That word contract. I had to pause on that one. You know why? Because we are still operating our businesses without a contract. And so many people are feeling the weight. And so even though I did not want this coronavirus to happen, what I am happy about is that it's allowing people to see at a time like this where you need to protect yourself with a contract. With the contract. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, they're messaging me, Deb, what should I do? Because, my clients are canceling an event. Some of them want their money back. Some of them want this. Your contract is supposed to protect you during these type of times. I don't understand how anyone can move in business and not have a contract. I don't care if it's your favorite auntie. I don't care if it's your godmother. I don't care if it's your pastor. I don't care if it's your good girlfriend. You need to have a contract in place that lets them know this is what you get from me. This is what I'm getting from you. It's not that you don't trust the person, or they make you feel like, oh, why you need me to give you a contract? You don't think I'm gonna pay you? It's business. It's business. Because if you start letting people go without doing contracts, everybody's going to be able to say to you, girl, I'm your girl. I need to give you a contract. Yes. Because it's a way for me to keep track of my business. This is business. It's nothing personal. And if you got people that don't respect the fact that you got a contract, then that's a problem. That's a problem. Everybody, when you are operating in business, once the industry opens back up and business picks up and it begins moving and booming and grooving, whatever you guys whatever word you want to use, you need a contract in place. Okay, you need something that secures you, something that protects you. And inside of that contract, I've seen it. It cannot be 5 lines. I know somebody's going to be like, ooh. It can't be 5 lines. You're not going to be protected by 5 lines in your contract. I've had somebody have 1 sentence in their thing, and I'm not making this up. I've seen it all. Most of it all. You cannot protect yourself with a contract that does not state anything. Your contract, if you're doing a contract, it needs to state, number one, at least start with that. If you don't know what to put in your contract. What are the services that the person is getting? What is the payment plan? What is the payment setup? What is the fee? If you don't know how to put together a contract, you can even Google contracts. There's people that sell contracts where you can then make that contract meet you where you need to be. All right. The next thing besides the contract, and let me just jump back over here to contracts. When you're dealing with contracts, you cannot just have one general contract. I don't believe that. Maybe somebody else might believe that. I'm not saying it's a right or wrong thing, because I believe that everybody takes what they've experienced or what helped them along. They use that and they teach others. So I would never say that someone's information is wrong. Okay, it worked for them. So it may work for you. It may not work for the next person. I personally feel like I have 3 contracts. My 3 contracts, one is for when I do weddings, one is for when I do events, another one is for when I do decor only. Excuse me. So when I'm doing events, I have those 3 contracts, because I'm not going to give you, I cannot generalize a wedding contract along with an event contract, along with a decor contract. If you can do that, then fine. If that's what you want to do. It's your business. But for me, I believe having 3 contracts that specifies what you're getting with those 3 different services, Yeah, that's what I suggest people to have several contracts. It's going to protect you, as you're moving along, in business. Another thing that some people, they panic about when it comes to insurance. When it comes to insurance for your business. Now, I may be giving you guys a lot of different things to think about, but remember, all of this is the foundation of your business. These are all of some of the things that your business is supposed to be standing on, like building a building. You got to have the foundation of the building laid so that this way the rest of the building is held together properly. So it's some things, you guys need to think about. So you want to make sure, people are asking all the time about, having their business insured. If your company, you can do insurance per event, but there's two different ways when you deal with insurance and how do you protect yourself in business. Well, number one, usually when I have a client, I charge it off to my client because it's my client's wedding. So why would I be responsible for paying insurance for my client's wedding? So you can either add that into your contract, or your client, I had clients that then will purchase it, which will cover all of us underneath that. If you are hosting the event, which I usually host like events during the year, then I would then take out insurance just for that event, during that event. If you're a person that has an event like a venue or a space, then your insurance will be a little bit different. Why? Because you might need something daily. You might need something weekly because of your event space and, et cetera, et cetera. Alrighty. So don't get too crazy when it comes to insurance, feeling like, if I don't have insurance, something is wrong. People get very panicky with that. And so there's several ways. Another thing that I would suggest is when you're building your business, research is like the biggest thing. I find so many times that people don't want to research. Everybody wants everything handed to them. Everybody wants everything given to them. Nobody wants to do their research. Nobody wants to put the time in. Listen, we all got to put time in, honey. We all got to. And so sometimes you got to take time out. And this is a part of investing in the knowledge when it comes to your business. You got to be willing to research, even if it's 10 minutes out of your day. I don't know how most people are in business and they're always telling me they don't have time. I'm so confused by that, because in business, you got to make time. You got to make time. You got to make time to either talk to your clients. You got to make time to look through your contracts. You got to make time to look at your website. You got to make time to communicate with your audience. Like, you have to make time. You cannot say that I want to build a successful business and I don't have time to research. You need to research. You cannot say you're an event planner and you have no clue what a safari chair is. You have no clue what sequence drapes are. Like, you don't know. How are you in a business and an industry and you don't want to do your research? It's not going to work. It's like you talking to a photographer and telling the photographer you want him to take headshots, and he asks you, what's headshots? You're going to look at him like, oh, wait a minute now. Are you a photographer? And so you want people, and I'm not being harsh or mean. I'm just saying this is how people will look at you. This is how people will look at me. If you don't know your information, if someone is describing a chair to you, describing a tablecloth, and you have no clue, then that's not good. And so instead of panicking during this time, this is the time for you to do your homework. This is the time for you to look up. Everything is on Google. Everything is on Pinterest. So you can't tell me that you don't got access to any information. You want to make sure that you are knowledgeable in your industry. Knowledgeable. You need to know what's going on, the ins, the outs. You need to know this information. Alrighty? Anybody got any questions? Because y'all could jump in here and y'all can ask any questions. If you have an LLC, I see somebody put a question. If you have an LLC, what does it cover? All right, so dealing with the LLC, that's a good question. Thank you. Oh, Deborah. Hey, Deborah. So, LLC. So I'm not, I know of the LLCs. I don't get too deep into it, but what I do know that I can tell you is an LLC, of course, it covers your business. I don't, because I just came out of doing a sole, I did it a different way. I did a Corp C, And so I realized that with the Corp C, the way that I have to do my taxes is different when I have an LLC. So though I do taxes, and I'm not going to give wrong information. I'm going to just give what I know. And then I would say to get a professional in that area, which I do have someone that's a part of my team that's that they specialize in LLCs and different ways that you can register your company. But I do know that there's a difference when you are doing your taxes. I do know that under your LLC, multiple things could be covered as opposed to having like what I had, which was a Corp C. I know when I was underneath that, my other companies wasn't covered. And I would have then had to put the other companies, I would have had to do them single. But underneath the LLC, I'm able to cover multiple companies. So let's say, for example, Deborah, you were doing event planning and you decided that you wanted to do cakes. You can put the cake underneath that LLC. Most people don't know that, but you can. So, so that's also a good thing when it comes to LLC. I believe that if you are in business, that you want to legalize your business. People get afraid because they're like, oh, well, I'm going to make it legal. But then what happens, I'm afraid of paying taxes. Well, then that's the next step in business. Like if you guys want to be legit in business, these are the different steps that's going to happen. Obviously, if you don't make no money during the year, they're not going to ask you to pay anything. So you don't have to be afraid of that. If you get one event for the year, and you got to pay something, it's not going to be that much unless that event was $10,000-$20,000 event, that you made as a profit. So, but if you want more information on that, you can let me know. I definitely have someone, if I'm permitted to inside of the group, I can definitely give information where you can, speak to someone. I also have someone that does taxes, business, and you can, ask these questions and they can further, give you assistance on that. Do you encourage couples to get wedding insurance? Absolutely. D asks an awesome question. I do encourage people to get wedding insurance because of this reason right here. For this issue right here, certain things like this can be covered underneath it. There's also where I apologize. Also where if something was to happen during the event, then people will be covered. If they had a photographer that came in, slipped and fell, there's just different reasons. I would definitely tell especially now clients. I'm sure a lot of you guys that do weddings, I would just suggest to them, it does not cost a lot to cover, to get wedding insurance. So I would say, absolutely yes. I want to make sure I'm not missing nobody's questions. People want quick Facebook answers, which may be dead wrong. Yes, Glenda, that's absolutely right. Knowledge is everything. Do you need insurance if you have a DBA? Okay, so when it comes to that, again, I'm going to say that insurance is not my field. That's why I have someone from my team that pretty much teaches that portion for me, because that part I did not go to school for. However, I'm aware of when it comes to insurance, what's needed. But to answer your question, if you can give me send me a message, I will make sure that I will get the right answer to you. I don't believe in giving nobody the wrong answer and steering them in the wrong direction. So you can definitely, if it's okay, you can inbox me. I will make sure that I get that right answer to you. Alrighty, let's see. Oh yes, Mary was saying yes, the LLC, yes it does. It protects your personal assets that you have. Do you recommend choosing niche such as parties only, events, weddings, corporate events, etc., or doing anything event possible? All right, Jennifer. So your question, you're asking, do I recommend just having a niche in one area or doing any event that's possible? So I have two different ways that I feel about that. One, I would tell anybody, it's what you feel that you connect to most. If I tell somebody to do any event possible, there's a lot of people that they're like, I don't want to deal with a bride. They don't want to deal with event planning. They don't want to deal with planning with the brides. Like, I deal with brides, and I know, yes, sometimes they could be a bit much. You got to have that customer service got to kick in when you're dealing with them. But if you feel like you have a stronger passion for, let's say, doing kids parties as opposed to doing an adult party, that question, I would say it depends. It's to each its own, to be honest with you. It depends on how you feel about it. I would say to somebody, be versatile, because what happens if at that moment you're not getting a lot of children's parties, but you got a lot of people that's like, I could really use somebody to do my 50th or, to do my 30th event. You don't want to turn nobody away. So it may not be your niche, but you want to just be open to the fact that I don't want to turn away no money either. When you're building a business, sometimes in the beginning of it, in the middle of it, you may not want to turn that away. Some people may not want to do the weddings, because I've heard people say, Deb, all right, besides dealing with the brides, the decor for a wedding, the whole, they just don't want to deal with it. That's okay, but just have it in the back of your mind. If somebody came to you to hand you $20,000 to do their wedding, you're not going to say, oh, no, I do kids parties. So I would tell people to be open with your options, especially the way that this industry can switch up on us. So be open with that. So my recommendation would be that even though you have a niche, to also be open if you needed to fill in or take on another event that's outside of your niche. Let's see, your business can stand alone. Your personal financial is not involved. Okay. Good info. Thank you, Teresa. The one major is that it creates a separate entity. Okay. Hey, Amy. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Shailene. All right. Let's see. Another question. From your experience, what is the name you go under when subscribing to an insurance as an event planner or... Okay, I think what you're asking is whenever I do get insurance. So this is Sandra. So I just want to make sure that I'm answering the question right. From my experience, what name do I go under when I'm subscribing to for insurance? Okay, so for me it would be Debora Taylor, because I'm the insurer. Debora Taylor, and then also my business name would then go underneath that. So like, for example, when I host my conference, I will put, I'm the insurer, so it's Debora Taylor, and then the event's name is Premier Planners Experience. Okay, so they have it where they'll ask you a series of questions, but usually it would be your name, unless the insurance company that you deal with, they want it underneath the company's name. So some insurance companies, it depends. The insurance company that I use, it's usually my name, and then my company is there, or the name of the event is there. Now, if you're doing it for, I had a wedding that I did. Of course, when I did it for their event, it didn't go underneath my name. I just was like kind of the person that kind of put it to, kind of, I guess, guided them through it. So it was underneath the client's name, and then it just had their event date, and that type of information. So it all depends on the insurance company. Sometimes it may be in the so if you're an LLC, so if I'm Tailor Made Planning LLC, then the company may say we'll just take it underneath the company's name. So yeah, I hope that answered the question good. If there's an emergency after the contract is done, what should you do? Say to the client, wait. I think your name is Vivian. I hope I said that right. Vivianine. Forgive me, y'all. Y'all know I could be horrible with pronouncing names, so please forgive me. So the question is, if there is an emergency after the contract is done, what should you do if the client changed his or her mind in using you. Okay, I've definitely had that happen. It all depends, because it depends on the time that they decided. Now, for some companies, I've seen it where people have a couple of days after they sign the contract. Now, some people go, no, you don't got a couple of days. But if a person comes to me 2 or 3 days after and they decide, you know what, I'm not going forward with it, it depends on it's your company. So it depends on what you have in place. So my clients have 3 days if they're going to change their mind. So if they said, you know what, I look financially, I just lost my job, or my mama passed away, or something came up, and I know that we're not going to financially be able to afford a planner, if that's within the 3 days window, then it's no problem. There's some clients that, went a little further than that, and what we agreed upon was that they just paid a cancellation fee and they came out of the contract. So I would say it's to each its own what you want to have in place. Again, some people will agree, some people may not agree, but at the end of the day, it is your business. And what you decide to do with your business is your business. That was cute. But I know I always make myself laugh with some silly things, but it's really your choice. So I tell everybody, with your business, you want to make sure that you sit down and don't just throw your contracts together. Figure out what you want, and there's times that you got to revamp your contract. Because every time I hit a bump in the road, I'm like, oh man, this wasn't good. Let me go to that contract. I got to revamp that. So always know that you could revamp your contract. If you try something out and you see that it doesn't work, you could revamp it. So my suggestion with that is you can give, some people will say 7 days. I'm not going that far. I'm not giving you 7 days. It's 3 days, and then you can cancel with me. After that, if you have an emergency or something like that. Now, this is me. I'm just very kind and considerate. So sometimes when my clients really tell me that they got an issue going on, I would let them send me, put something in writing. And, of course, they don't get their deposit back. But I would let them give me something in writing, and I would let them come out of their contract. That's just Debora. Now, if you're the type of person they are not coming out their contract, you might come up with a fee that you want to say, a cancellation fee. Like a lot of hotels and venues, they do charge a cancellation fee. Either they keep what you have already given, or, there's another fee that they may charge on top of that. Alrighty, let's see. Is the key word. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing nobody's questions, because y'all got some good questions. Do you change the same for a wedding as you would for a party with the same amount of people? Do you charge? I apologize. This is LaShawn. I hope I pronounced that right. Do you charge the same for a wedding as you would for a party? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. With the same amount of people? Absolutely not. I don't charge the same because the dynamics of what it is in a wedding is way different than what it is sometimes with a party. Now, when it comes to pricing, I do pricing a little bit different. Again, I don't knock the way anyone teaches pricing or anyone does pricing. But again, I teach according to, pretty much the way that I've learned it to be done for me. So if someone else teaches price in a different way, I know some people teaches with calculations. They break it down chart wise. They break it. I've set through multiple ways that people teach pricing, and it's not that they're wrong. It's just that you got to find which pricing works for you. I hope everybody understood what I just said. All right, this is good information, because sometimes we listen to 5 different people teach something, and we come out of that thinking that one person is wrong, the other person is right. And I want everybody to understand how it works when it comes to business. 5 different people can teach you something. They're teaching you something based off of what worked for them, So they're turning around and they're teaching it to everybody else. So it may work for me, it may not work for you. So I've taught pricing, and people are like, oh my God, like, wow, Deb, this makes so much more sense than the class that I took. Not because the class was wrong, excuse me, not because the class was wrong, but because it just didn't work for them. Alrighty, so for me, Deborah, what I'm going to charge for a wedding, I'm not going to charge that for a party. A wedding is different aspects that might come to it. It may take more decor. It may take more time. It may take more people. The hours might be different. So according to that, I definitely charge, I'm sorry for the noise. I definitely charge a little bit different when it comes to that. Let's see. Hi, Deborah. What's the name of your group? Oh, awesome question. Thank you for asking. So I do, my group is called Premier Planners, Event Planners Grow Your Business. I believe I'm saying it right because I'll be messing up the name of my own group. But with the permission, and if it's okay, I will post underneath the comments, I will post the name of my group. If you guys want to, join my group, for more business tips and information, you can definitely do that. I would definitely love to have you. Alrighty. I have 72 hours to change their mind. Okay. See, Kimberly. Awesome. Yes. Thank you for the answers. I'm new to this, and I just want to be a party decorator, even though I know I have a certification for planner. What kind of insurance would you recommend? Oh, these insurance questions be good, y'all. I know people be having a lot of insurance questions. Alrighty, so again, if you are a party decorator, when it comes to insurance, remember you don't have to have insurance if you're just going to decorate a party. If you want to have insurance because you want to feel more comfortable, let's say you have workers. So for example, I have 3 workers that come with me. So if I have 3 workers that come with me, if you are willing to pay the $100 or charge it to your clients, you can charge it to your clients. If you want to make sure, let's say that you and your workers are covered during that event, you can do that as well. Again, it depends on each insurance company that you go to. So like if I know that I'm doing a wedding, like for example, let me use my event. So my event that I do, because it's a 3-day event, it's a conference that I do. What I do is everybody that comes to the conference is covered. So I make sure that I pay the money for the conference to cover for the 3 days for any body that's participating. Okay, so if you're coming to set up whatever, I make sure everybody's covered. So it's just like you can do the same with being a party decorator. If you're going to set up a party for those 2 hours and then you're coming back, they're not gonna charge you anyway per hour. They're gonna charge you for the day. So if somebody trips while they're bringing in your decorations and they hurt their ankle, they won't sue you. You can just say, hey, I have the insurance that will cover your medical needs, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So some people don't like to do it because they're like, oh, I'm not paying that extra money, but you can put it into your contract. And that's, for example, if let's say you charge $1,500 for a party, you might want to charge $1,600, so that extra $100 you can have that set aside for the day of the event. When it comes to setting up and different things like that. Some of them they will cover if you let's say like I know the insurance company that I use, if I was to damage some of my product was to get damaged, I could put a claim in for that. Okay, so all of those that you can take into consideration when it comes to insurance. Do you mean after they've paid the deposit, they have 3 days to change their mind? Yes. So, Teresa, for me, when clients, usually, this is how I do it. The deposits are non-refundable. That's already in the contract. It's non-refundable. So if they pay me a deposit of $500, they already know that the deposit is non-refundable. If they choose to cancel with me, they already know they're not getting a deposit back because it's been stressed in the contract, and I'm letting them know. But they can still cancel with me without me taking further actions or further charges, because if the contract, for example, is for $3,000, we're in a contract for $3,000. So if you gave me $500 and that's my deposit, and I got $2,500 that's left to collect from you, you decide 3 days later to come out. Technically, they really can't break the contract with you for that $2,500. I mean, I've known people that have taken people and sued them, for breaking the contract, and these people have won. I only know about 5 people that did that. And they have won. But it's your choice. That I'll give you 3 days. If you want to come out the contract, I will let you come out the contract, but then there would be a cancellation fee. Or if you choose to let them come out after the 3 days, for me, I let them choose to come out after the 3 days, and they don't have to pay me no cancellation fee. So I hope that made sense how I answered that. I don't want to confuse anybody with that. Sometimes it is difficult to provide refunds when the funds paid by the client are used to purchase items for a client's event. Right. So when it comes to refunds, so we're all experiencing this now. And I'm sorry, y'all know my throat get a little dry, and I want to be mindful of the time. So yes, and we're experiencing this right now. So right now what we're seeing is that a lot of clients are canceling events. I've had somebody call me crying, and I felt so bad because I'm just like, oh my God. So, they're like, oh my God, Deb, like I had, I think it was like 4 or 5 events, and of course they all been canceled, and these clients want their money back, like all of it. I'm like, first of all, number one, stop crying. Okay, because when you're in business, we cannot be all emotional all the time. We cannot be extremely sensitive all the time. We still got to handle it like a boss. We still got to handle it because it's a business. And so you got to let people know there's no way that you could expect a full refund. There's absolutely no way, especially if your event was this month. I prepared for it. I've already worked on it. There's no way you can get a full refund. And so this is where your contract comes into play, because your contract will then cover you. You would tell them to please refer back to the contract. It's not like you canceled the event. They had to cancel the event because maybe the venue or somebody else. It is not your fault that you're not able to do the event. And again, this is why your contract is important to have. So for me, I did have a cancellation for an event, but I just had to let my client know. Number one, she definitely didn't ask me for a full refund, because that's definitely not happening. She didn't ask me, matter of fact, for any refund. She asked me, can I give her credit? Absolutely, I can give you a credit. So maybe you want to ask your clients, listen, I can give you a credit towards your next event that you have, or if you want to, the decor that I was planning to utilize, you can kind of work something out. Of course, whatever you work out, protect yourself by doing an amended to your contract. You want to make sure, don't just verbalize this and talk about it was in a text message and an email. No, this needs to be in writing, and you need to do an addendum to this. Okay, so yeah, but a lot of people are experiencing this. I would tell them that you have to let your client know. Unfortunately, I do understand the situation at hand, but my time has been placed into this. I know that the event is being canceled, but because my time, the items that I have gotten already, you have to just be real with them and let them know. If they have a problem with it and they want to take further action, you already have your contract if you have a contract that states this, then by all means, let them do what they feel like they need to do. But I don't recommend anybody to try to get any refunds to clients when you have already put in the work. Good night, Miss Deb. Hey, Michelle. You have to filter your information. Can you go more into pricing different for parties versus weddings? All right, Jennifer. So when it comes to pricing, do you, let me take the other price on. Do you use a flat fee model, percentage of budget, package, or other? All right, so when it comes to pricing, I'm a little bit different. I'm not the percentage person. I don't personally like the percentage. I'm a more of a flat fee. So if my weddings is once I speak to the client, I do a consultation. My weddings can start from 1,500. I'm just throwing this out there to be quick. So if my weddings start from $1,500 and up, it's going to go according to what information I get from the person during a consultation. I feel like people do an injustice to themselves when they just go, oh, I do weddings for $2,000. You cannot tell people that you do weddings at $2,000 because you don't know what they're going to be asking for, what they're going to be expecting. You cannot do that. So when it comes to pricing, and of course, I'm just giving some quick tips on it. When it comes to pricing, you need to, there's so much to it. So definitely cannot utilize this time to go deep into that. I do have somebody that does pricing. I can also give you that information as well. She teaches pricing. So I can give you the information as well. I teach pricing, but I teach pricing in my mentoring program. So I have never taught a pricing course just by itself. But during I do a mentorship program, where in that program, I teach pricing. And so, just how to price their packages, how to price their services. So when it comes to it, it's a whole lot. I personally like the flat fee because once you talk to me and I do a consultation with you, I tell everybody, write stuff down. Something like this, for example, I'm going to show y'all what I keep handy. See this little cute little notebook? I have tons of these notebooks. This one is empty because it's a new one, but I have tons of these that I keep. And one of them that I just keep for business, which has all of my pricing, different things I break down. It has how much is different rental pieces. I create all of that in a booklet. So as I'm doing a consultation with a client and the client is saying to me, I had a wedding that was 400 people. So automatically I'm not going to give you the price I'm not going to charge you $2,000 for 400 people. So of course the price is gonna go higher. So when it comes to your pricing, you need to make several pricing, like have a pricing chart, for yourself, for yourself, so that you know how to price as you do your consultations. You want to know what is my base, like what is that base price that I'm starting at? Am I going to start at 500 or am I going to start at 1500? This is the base, and I'm going to start it at 1500, and it's going to go up from there. I do my pricing different. Whenever I do a wedding, I separate. So whatever I give, I don't add my fee in with the decor fee, especially when you're doing a wedding, because things can change. So this is my service fee. My service fee is $2,000 plus the materials and plus the rentals, whatever's needed to decor wise. And all of that, again, is in the contract. I let them know in the contract, and also during the consultation. Do not think that $2,000 is going to get you everything you need. That is my service fee. Inside of the contract is going to break down underneath the service fee what that entails, what it covers, and then they're going to have the different price that's going to say to them, okay, so for your decor is going to come up to $5,000. So $5,000 plus my $2,000 in total is going to be $7,000. And on my invoice, it breaks down with all of the decor prices and then ending off with my service price, which all of that is then in the contract. Alrighty, so let's see. I think, Lorna, you can let me know because I don't want to go over my time. I know people got a lot of questions, right? I do. So please let me know. Let's see. What percentage do you charge for deposits? So for me, usually my deposits depend on an event. Depends on the pricing. So, for example, if I do, and depend on timing. So I don't do a percentage. Again, I know people probably like, oh my God, girl, you don't do percentage. I tried certain things, and when it don't work for me, I'm just like, I got to go with what works for me. So for me, I do a flat fee. So for example, if the event comes up to $1,500, the deposit is $500. I've done an event where my bride, it came up to about maybe 15,000. Now that's not what I took home, y'all. Don't be like, woo, child, she did 15. It came up to 15,000 with my service fee and the material. And so from that, of course, then just like most companies, I do a $2,000 $2,000 down. And if you feel like you want to go higher, you can. The most that I did down that I've asked for was $2,000. If the event was, let's say, closer, and they couldn't put it into, break it into payment plans, then I would ask for half up front, only because of the timing of the event. Alrighty. Let's see. Hotels ask for your insurance policy. I find it easier to have a yearly insurance policy. So some people, Jennifer, thank you, Jennifer Smart. Thank you. Yes, some people find it easier to do yearly insurance. Nothing is wrong if you choose to do yearly insurance, or if you choose to do insurance per event. I personally don't do the yearly insurance, only because my clients, they usually purchase the insurance. So you can kind of have it depending on how you work it into your package, depending on how you do it. So some people, even if you do your yearly insurance, you could also take that fee and you can pull it from per each event. So it all depends on the person and how you want to do it. Do you use Event Helper for single day insurance or your regular insurance provider? I like Event Helper. I absolutely love them, Deborah. I don't know if you pronounce it Deborah or Debora, but Event Helper, I love them. I love using Event Helper. I've used them for, I've been using them for years. And so, and all of my clients that host events, they go through them as well. So I really love them. I don't use the regular insurance provider, not me personally, but I do know some of them also provides insurance. But Event Helper, I could definitely give a thumbs up to that because they're amazing. Do you need to be certified to be a wedding event planner? Oh my God, Kim, that's an awesome question. You know why that's good? Because people do ask that. They wonder about that. So I'm going to give y'all the scoop on that. All right. I'm going to give y'all the scoop on that. You do not, I know people are going to probably be like, oh my gosh, you do not have to be certified to be a wedding and event planner. Okay, so let me start with that. You do not have to be certified to be a wedding or event planner. However, being certified gets you into more doors. It gets you into more events, but you don't have to be certified. But the way that things are moving and going nowadays, it just holds more weight when you tell them that you are certified. If you go to certain venues and you're certified, it holds more weight. If you want to move up and start taking on, corporate events, if you want to deal with clients that are, y'all know, and most people are like, oh my God, I don't even know that to ever be true. But there are clients that will pay you some money. And so as you are climbing up the ladder in your business, you want to get certified because it does hold more weight. Is it necessary? Do you have to do it? No, you don't have to do it. You just need to decide where you want to be when it comes to business building, how far you want to take your business, how far you want to go in the industry. And from there, Kim, you can make your decision whether you want to become certified or not certified. If you're just doing local events, then, if it's not really a big thing to you, then, you can do that. So I use the term retainer instead of deposit, which is non-refundable. Yes, you can do retainer, that you can do retainer, you can do deposit. Yeah, it's not a problem. Hey, Barbie. Hey, Mary. Lisa, I'm very new to the business side of event planning. Do I just Google insurance for event planners? Wow, everybody loved the listen, I think this whole coronavirus has stirred everybody up with the insurance. So yes. So when it comes to the insurance, Lisa, I know you're new to the business. So when it comes to insurance, you can Google it, or you can just call a couple of companies in your area and you can just find out, what they, either what their fees are, what do they cover. You can just get your information like that. You don't want to just Google You can Google the companies, but I suggest that you call the companies after you Google some companies' names. Call them and get information. Find out what's covered. Find out what's not covered. How much they charge. What is it per event? How much they charge. Yearly. Get that information. All right. 3 days after they sign their contract, or 3 days before their event date. No, 3 days after they sign their contract, Angela. No, they cannot. If they cancel 3 days before the event, honey, they ain't seeing a dime. They're not getting nothing back at that point. Alrighty. Currently going through this, and no, all of the deposit is dispersed to vendors and items was brought. So LaShawn, I hope I said that right, LaShawn. So in that instant, like I said before, clients cannot expect for you to give them back their money. They definitely can't go to a venue and ask the venue. I mean, if they cancel an event, I know most wedding venues, some of them are giving the clients back their money if they're like a big corporate company and they can do that. But like other venues, I mean, it's not like we're canceling because we want to cancel. We're canceling because the government is telling us that we have to cancel. So therefore, it's really not the venue's fault. So some venues are saying that you can just move it to another date, or if you want to apply it to another day, yes, or reschedule, to another time. I rescheduled my event. I called my client and told them it's best to reschedule, postpone the event. Was planned for April 4th. My client was fine with that. Yeah, so that's good, Michelle, because they got some clients that they're good with that. You got some that's going to give you a fuss, and, they're going to feel, be in their feelings about it. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not like it's any one of us that made the decision. I mean, it's health reasons. Our government is telling us not to do this to eliminate, the spread of this virus. So some clients might be in their feelings, but I mean, they'll just have to get over it. Yes, flat fee. I don't like packages. I definitely don't like packages either, Kimberly. I don't like packages. That's just my take on that. Let's see. You are very knowledgeable. Thank you for your comments. Oh, you're welcome, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Where are you located? Deborah, I am located in New York. I am in New York. Of course, right now, quarantined in my home, working from home. But I am located in New York. Let's see. Thanks for your responses. I personally use a flat fee model. I just want to make sure before I jump off, do you also include a damage fee if you're in your contracts in the event that your materials are damaged by guests? Oh my gosh, I'm glad you asked that. So just real quick, looking at the time, because I don't want to, you're okay, rap when you feel is good. Thank you so much. Listen, I know people are asking questions. I know people want this information, so I'm not going to stay too long because I know that I do have to jump in with my mentees tonight. So I'll give a little bit more time. So when it comes to damage, do I charge a damage fee? So when it comes to materials and products, whenever I do with a rental company, yes, all my clients know absolutely there has to be a damage fee. I mean, could you imagine renting your throne chair and going back and somebody took a knife by accident and cut it? I mean, you're definitely not going to not pay something. So I would definitely tell people inside of your contract, you definitely want to specify that in the contract. They are responsible. I did just real quick, simple little thing. I did a wedding and I did these beautiful centerpieces. My husband would tell you, because I probably talked his ear to death about this. I did these beautiful centerpieces. It had like they wanted the lighting. It was it was beautiful, but the typical, vases with the crystals in them, with the lighting in them. Really nice. The floating candle, y'all know, typical. But it was really, really nice. The venue, it was just pretty inside. I came back. Listen, guys, I came back to get my stuff. The wedding was ending. I came back. It was a small wedding. I don't know what happened, Well, when I got there, all of my vases, all of the pieces was pulled outside of the vase. I found all of the little lighting pieces in the bathroom. So apparently what happened was they had kids at the event. The kids climbed up into the vase, put their hand in the water with the crystals. They was pulling out the lights. I saw a kid leaving out the party with one of my lights. I was just like, oh my God, like this is ridiculous. This is crazy. My client, of course, before I could even say anything, my client, she's just like, I'm so sorry. I didn't notice this was happening when it happened. But just please let me know how much it will cost to replace the lights. Yeah. Because I left and I had tons of lights inside here, and they're sitting in the bathroom. They're sitting all over the place. Not only that, but they were such a mess. The tablecloths was a mess. It was just bad. It was bad. So I definitely tell people have a cost in there when it comes to damaging your product. There's one thing when you washing tablecloths, but there's another thing when you got kids that's taking cake and smudging it all over the tablecloths, and to the point where I had some tablecloths that even with cleaning them, it just could not get clean. Oh yes, so she also had to replace that as well. So please definitely cover yourself with that, because there's some people that have events that and I'm not even going to tell you the culture of these people. They definitely weren't your typical ghetto. You would not even expect this from this particular culture. I'm not going to say the culture only because I like to, y'all know me, I don't like to be throwing stuff out there like that. But it was definitely a culture that I would have never expected this from. And me and my husband talked about this like literally all the way home all week. I was like, oh my God, babe. So nevertheless, yes, protect yourself. So do you give them the decor cost at the same time as your service price, or is it that you have the estimated cost of the decor item? Oh, good question, Teresa. So most of the time what happens is when I'm doing a consultation before the contract is done, I already pretty much know decor-wise what they're looking for. So the only time that there has been a separation in that is when it comes to weddings, because most of the time when people book me for their weddings, it's usually a few months out. They're still kind of making a decision on, what decor that they want. So they would get, for weddings, it's more like an estimated price as far as decor goes. My service fee still will stay the same. So for example, if it was $2,000, that would still stay the same. But as far as the decor price, that's why I make sure that I put it in the contract, what they are responsible for. So when I hit them with it's $4,000, $5,000, they can't hold their chest acting like, they having chest palpitations. So I let them know ahead of time. And that's why when you're doing consultations, it's good to really go over this information with them clearly, so that this way that they will understand what you are saying, when it comes to my service fee versus my decor fee. So when it comes to the decor, if it's like a party, a sweet 16 or something, and they just gave me everything that they need, and when they go to do the contract, they're gonna have that invoice. That invoice would say, well, your decor is going to be, let's say $3,000. My service fee is $2,000. So I only make the exception for the estimated cost when it comes to weddings. Alrighty. Thanks for sharing your expertise. What does your service fee entails? Should your service fee be a percentage? All right. I think I kind of answered that. If I didn't, I think it's Sanaya. If I didn't answer that, you didn't catch that answer, you could just let me know, and I can break that down to you. What does the service fee entails? So service fee would entail, okay, so that's a good question. I didn't answer that portion. I answered the second portion of your question. So when it comes to service fee, it all depends, again, on each person. So for me, my service fee is definitely going to cover what my take home is going to be. It's going to cover any of my staff that has to come out. So if I'm charging, for example, $2,000, I might walk away with $1,500 in my pocket. I utilize the other $500 to pay, let's say I'm paying $100 to 2 of my workers. That's $200. Then the other $300 I might pay. My husband says he never sees a check, which probably Yeah, he probably don't always see it, but part of that fee is for my husband transporting back and forth. And I know he's probably behind me looking like, what, babe? But yeah, I might use it towards bills, but technically, that's what the other $500 might cover. I calculate his, what I would charge, I would pay for. I had to look at him because he's probably got this big smile on his face. But pretty much that's how I break down my service fee. It's for what goes in my pocket that I'm gonna make off the event, and this also towards whoever I need to pay as far as my team, the funds. Alrighty. I do yearly because I host a lot of internal events. Yes, well, Teresa, for you, insurance yearly, yes, because you do host a lot of events, so that might make a lot of sense. How can you get certified? All right, Michelle. Well, to get certified, there are several places that do offer to get certified. You can do it right online. Now, I know some people are like, oh my God, Deb, I wish I was there. Now, when I got certified through York College, this was back in 2010. It was only, I think, like $200 or something like that. It wasn't even, I don't even think it made $300. Now the certification is a little bit more costly because it's more in high demand. So I know some people that have paid $1,000 plus. Some people have paid to be certified. I'm so excited because I'm definitely working on, it won't be this year, but I cannot wait to launch that next year. But I'm working on becoming a certified, becoming a teacher to be certified so that I can certify others in event planning. Because I don't want people that are starting out their business to, sometimes people can't afford $1,000, $1,500 to become certified. So I'm excited about that. Do you use any apps for weddings or events? Yes, I do. I use the apps. Oh my gosh, I just forgot the name. I gotta get the name. It literally just slipped my mind, Sean. But I do use apps to manage my weddings and my events. There's Owl Planner. Let me not mess it up with y'all for y'all. I will post that inside of the comments when we get off. I'll screenshot the apps and I'll put the apps in there for you. But yes, I do use apps. Not for all of my events, but definitely for my weddings. Yes. What program do you use to show your clients your design for their event? All right. So when it comes to that, I have someone that I utilize their program. They do it for me. If the client does want to see it, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know. It might just, I don't know. I guess to each client, a lot of my clients don't ask me. They go on my site and they see my work. And sometimes some clients, I don't know. So I haven't really had to show my design because they just usually want to see what the floral will look like, a sample of like that. They don't even like me to do their mocks. So I know some people like, what? That's what? Nobody asked you that? I'm not saying that I'm all of that, but I'm just saying that for most of my clients, they usually don't ask me. So, but I do have it available if they want it. But at certain times in your planning, I guess some clients, they look at your work and look at what you do, and they may not ask you to to show them that. So yeah, but I do have something I can use. Where is the best place to get a website? The best place to get a website, I will always recommend that you want to get someone that does branding. I like people that do branding because when they do your branding, they can do your website. I don't suggest that if you're just event planning, all you need is a landing page. You don't have to put yourself out there where you got to do like this full-blown, keep track of the time. You don't have to do a full-blown website with all of these different tabs. That's where the cost becomes more. But a landing page that gives the basic about you, your company, and it can provide pictures and information, that's pretty much what you need. But so there's multiple people. Do your research. I have someone that I can suggest that I think is absolutely amazing. But again, there's a lot of people that that do websites, but you want to get someone that that I like somebody that does branding because I want to keep everything looking unified. Alrighty. So I hope that answered your question. But Wix is a good one. I love Wix. Wix is good. I know GoDaddy, they have templates on that. I believe yes, GoDaddy. So you can get from there. I love Wix personally. There's a few other ones, but Wix is my favorite. I think that it's affordable. I think that I couldn't afford a designer at first, so I sat there and I taught myself. I'm very visual anyway, so I kind of know how to work computers. So I sat there and I was like, listen, I'm gonna get this thing together. And I built my own website through Wix. So check Wix out and see if that helps you. Do you sell templates or of your contract? I do. I do sell Tamika. Yes, I do. If it's permitted, I would give that information. But I do sell contracts. The templates for the contracts. Some people like, oh, don't sell your templates, but I mean, some people need a basis of a contract. I tell everybody when you get the template, any template you get, you want to tweak that template, of course, that it will meet what you want in your business. But the template is there to give you all of the the legal wording, that type of things to make sure that you are protected and covered. So yes, I do sell contract templates. And they're $40. I think I charge $40. I think you get 2 contracts plus you get a consultation form. So you can inbox me for that. How do you go about charging for traveling to your event? Well, I usually, depending on where I'm going to do my event at, I just Google. There's certain websites where you can calculate what the travel would be, what the tolls will be, and gas wise. So I usually Google that. It depends on where you're going, but you can definitely calculate your travel fee. Some people come up with just a basic estimated travel fee. I like to have an idea of what it's going to cost me to get there. So if it tells me $100 to get there, that's $100 to get there, $100 to come back. So it all depends on where you're going, what you're doing, but definitely you want to get an estimated price of what it's going to cost for the traveling. And then if you want to tack a little something on extra, then you could do that as well. Do you claim your events on your taxes? Yes. Yes. Now, a lot of people don't clench your pearls when I say this. There's some, all right, like I said, don't be clenching y'all pearls. But all of my events, most people do not claim all of their events. So sometimes I don't have to claim all of my events. And the reason why I say that, I don't want nobody to be like, oh, Deborah, she don't claim to the IRS. If it's a small event that I've done, where that event, and I mean small. If it's a small event that I've done, for the client, and let's say I didn't charge a whole lot, or depending on what the circumstances was, no, I haven't always. No, I haven't always. Have I? But I do claim on my taxes, because again, in order for God to bless us, we can't, be, robbing the government. A lot of times people don't claim on their taxes because technically, I'm just being real. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, she gave me permission to do it. No, I'm giving you information. And so sometimes some people don't always claim on their taxes because that's why people don't like to make their business legal, because technically it can be considered a side gig, or what people call a side hustle. It could be something considered on the side. If you're working full time, like I still work full time. So some people that work full time, and let's say they only get about 5 events during the year, they don't want to claim taxes on those 5 events when they're like, I only made $600, and so sometimes people don't want to do that. As you grow in the business, you are going to need to do that. And the reason why is because, you're getting bigger events. You're charging more. Some of these corporate events, they're going to write your number down, your name down. And, it's just all different. You don't want to get caught up in that tax mess. So I would say, you gotta be wise when you're doing that. Alrighty, so I'll call my damn. All right, so I'm hoping mentees, more info, please. Okay, Tamika. So I hope I'm saying your name right. So I call it, yes, my mentees. I have a mentorship program because I know I gotta hop off. So I do have a mentorship program where I do have mentees during the year. It's only a 6-month program. And in that program, pretty much some of my mentees is actually on here live now with us. And so during the mentorship program, pretty much in those 6 months, you are literally getting a crash course in your business. You are going to learn multiple areas of from social media marketing to contracts, consultations, how to deal with clients. I'm very, very big when it comes to that social media marketing, anything dealing with your emailing. I have guest speakers that comes in to talk. I got someone that does branding who's a part of the program. Pretty much think of mentorship program like a school. So I have professors or teachers or experts that come in and they teach in the areas that I'm not too, I'm not an expert in. So I have someone that talks about taxes, LLC, someone that talks about event therapy, someone that's going to be coming in talking about branding, florals, pricing. So that's what when I say mentees, so that's the mentorship program that I have. It did start, the mentorship program did start. I wasn't really promoting the mentorship program. Number one, I want to be sensitive at the fact that we are, people don't have the finances. So I don't like people to think, oh my gosh, she's coming here trying to sell stuff. And, she know we going through a crisis. I am very much human like everybody else. And I like to be sensitive towards the issue that's at hand. And also the mentorship program has started. We are a couple of classes in. If you feel, I'm not pushing it. If you feel like, Deb, I want to be a part of it. I want to jump in and get into it. I know you're already in. I will talk to you. I will make an exception and I will open up for a couple of people to come in to the mentorship program. You just got to be willing to do the work. I will help catch you up. All of the videos are there. I will help catch you up. We do a lot of one-on-ones, so you get to talk to me and do your one-on-ones. I walk you through the business and the building process of the business to make sure that you are moving in the right direction for success. So you can just inbox me or let me know, and then we can just kind of take it from there. Alrighty. I hope that I got everybody's questions. I know it's so many of you guys. I really do appreciate here. Let me see. After your event, do you come back and get your things the same day, or do you come back the next day? I come back the same day and I pick up my stuff. Oh yes, I come back the same day. So some people have a team, and that's where inside of your service fee, if you want to pay somebody to come pick up your stuff for you, you can. But as far as me and my husband and my daughter, we go all the way back to the event. I also do events with Dee is on here. We do events together. She comes and she does a lot of my rentals. She's here, of course, in New York with me, and Dee has a rental company. So I get a lot of rentals from her. She helps me. So she know too. We come back. We are not leaving our stuff overnight. We come back. So that to answer your question, we absolutely do come back. Alrighty. So if I did not answer your question, because there's a lot of questions, if I did not answer your question, what I will do is that I will give you guys an opportunity. I'm not one of them people that's like, you got to charge me to ask me a question. That's not your girl. If I did not answer your question, you can definitely inbox me your question. I will answer your question because I see that this information is very much needed. A lot of you guys do have questions, and this is why I feel like I'm so happy that Lorna opened up this opportunity. I'm sorry, my kids is yelling out in the back. But this is why I'm glad she opened up this opportunity, because when we're building a business, we end up having so much questions. And nowadays, a lot of people don't always want to answer questions. They don't answer emails. They don't answer us back. We want to get help, and nobody wants to help. And so I'm not that type of person. If you have a question, you can definitely inbox me. Give me a second, guys. Definitely inbox me. I will definitely answer your question for you. That's my son jumping in the back. That's always y'all already know, that's always your clue when it's time to, wrap it up. The kid always pops out from somewhere. But yes, definitely inbox me. I would definitely answer your question. I will help as much as I can. But I do appreciate, thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate this time. I know, again, I feel so bad. A lot of you guys have so much more questions. College do it. It's expensive, about $900. Yes, it is, Vera. So I just see so many questions. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. But I have to hop off. I don't want to take too much more time. I don't know, maybe Lorna might do a part 2 of this. Maybe I'll chat with her, and maybe we can, I know she got other speakers, but maybe we could come up with something and we can do like a part 2 of some Q&A questions, because I see that it's very much needed, within our industry. All of you guys need it. So again, I thank you. Lorna did give me permission. The only thing I am going to promote, don't nobody choke me or kill me, but my event is not until September. And I know that we're dealing with, a big crisis right now. Financially, it's hard for everybody, but I'm going to just put it out there since she gave me permission to do so. I am hosting a conference in September. It's in September. I am hosting a conference called Premier Planners Experience. I host this conference. This is my 3rd conference. Like, I'm so excited about it because the conference, it grows, it gets bigger and bigger. We do have payment plans. So I know with the hardship, some people need payment plans. But it is a conference that I do where we have speakers, guests coming in. It covers your meals. It's so much. I don't want to take up time, but it's a lot. So I will post the flyer. Lorna gave me permission to post a flyer. If you inbox me, I can send you the flyer. You can go to Premier Planners Experience, the website, Premier Planners Experience, and you can get all the information from there. You can go on my social media and you can follow me there as well. So I thought that I was going to have to postpone the event, but y'all know, listen, some of these venues are not trying to hear that, and their cancellation fee is too much. So your girl got to do what she got to do, and I got to push the conference ahead. So the conference will definitely be happening September 25th to the 27th, and it's taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you want to come, please just let me know. You guys can register. It's very small payments for you to work towards that. Again, I'm very sensitive at the issue at hand. So so I hope everybody be safe. Stay safe. Again, I thank you all that came on. Wow, it was just like totally amazing having everybody on, answering the questions, meeting a lot of you guys that I have not met before. Again, my name is Debora Taylor, the owner of Tailor Made Planning, Premier Planners Experience. And I want you guys to be blessed. And I just pray that everyone stays safe. I pray that your finances and your businesses come together. I pray that God will just extend his mercy and his grace in your direction. A lot of you guys that are feeling the hit from this virus in your homes, in your businesses, in your finances, I just pray that God will have mercy and that God will see you through, that he will give you what you need, provide what you need, and that when we come out of this virus situation, that we will be stronger and better than ever. Alrighty, so that's it for me. That's it, y'all. Thank y'all. I absolutely love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Inbox me, whatever you need. I am here. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Thank you so much. Bye, y'all.